All right, so this is Ask Women Over 30, Reddit, and it says men who want 50-50, but then hate financially independent women. Something I've noticed in the dating market is that a lot of men want women who make good money, but then don't. For example, they'll date a social worker who doesn't make much and then get mad when she wants him to pay for the date, as he makes more than her because he's in finance or tech, etc. He then dates a female investor banker who maybe doesn't have any issue with picking up the bill for her part or of the date, but then is mad she isn't impressed with his job or the ambiance of the restaurant, etc. Why would she be, since she's surrounded by high earning men and probably can do bougie things on her own time? There was another post on here where someone was mentioning rich men often date women who aren't doing as well financially, so they'll be grateful and do home cooked meals and all that. Basically, invest a little and then leech off of her. Has anyone else noticed this? It's like they won't financially help someone who isn't doing well as well as them, but get pissed off if a woman is financially independent. Yeah, okay. This is a catch 22. This is when men start to fall over themselves because sometimes their logic isn't logicking. Their rationale doesn't make any sense and it is just gobbledygook. So, this is the issue that we're seeing on social media everywhere right now, right? Men are champions of 50-50, which is a feminist ideology and very anti patriarchy, which is what was created by men, where the man is the head of the household, makes the lion's share of the money, if not all, and the woman is the helper in the home. Dare I say, helpmate if we're being religious, right? And she's supposed to rely on his financial prowess, right, to survive, which seems to be the ideal for the average man from what we've seen on the internet. But at the same time, men, and even dare I say, the same exact men, complain when they're expected to pick up a bill at a date or whatever. When a woman says, "Oh, yeah, I need my rent paid or my light bill paid or whatever," they freak out, that don't use me and where's your money. But then at the same time, when a woman doesn't need them and drives a nice car and isn't impressed necessarily with the restaurant he chose or whatever because she can pay for it herself anyway, they're upset about that too. So I'm coming to the floor with questions. I have thoughts about it, but I do definitely do have questions as to how did we get here and how do we come out of it. And so, first, let's look at the comments because I am so curious to see what the comments are like. So, we have a commenter saying, I live in LA and I've noticed that successful men always ask women for this on their dating profile. Must be independent, career focused, a go getter, have passions, etc. Yet, in all caps, every successful guy I know ultimately goes for the 21-year-old aspiring model who's unemployed and financially dependent on her parents or said guy. Make it make sense. Okay, she's seen some things out there. Um, the next commenter says, must be independent, career focused, a go getter, have passions, etc. In quotes. That's slang for I'm stingy and I don't want to pay or put any effort. Let's see. Let's look for another one. The way these young men act like it's 1950s. Literally, none of them have ever lived in a world where women didn't make money, yet they are stunned to find someone who can take care of herself. It's really about control and manipulation. They can't treat a high earner like crap, shit, so they don't want her. Is that it, guys? Is that the crux of it? Is that, you kind of want your cake and eat it too? Make money, don't make too much money, kind of be dependent on me, but also be able to rub two pennies together, kind of just stay as low as possible. I mean, is that the conclusion that we need to draw here? Is that women need to not be that good, that wealthy, that capable, that independent? Just kind of stay in your little box, be able to buy your little Mac and cheese box and things like that. But, don't be able to afford the nice restaurant because then How am I supposed to grandstand and look good or, whatever? Is that it? Tell me. Leave me a comment. Let me know. Let's go to the next comment here. Commenter says, "Oh, almost. We are only branded angry feminists if we make money and expect to share the same rights and responsibilities with the men. It's fine if we make money but still defer to men. I'm so glad that slowly but surely things like this are improving. It's better than it was, and if we keep raising our kids with all of this in mind, their generation will be a bit better." Right on. Okay. Commenter says, "I once dated a guy who joked about me being a gold digger. He also really hated the idea that women could choose now. And I told him he didn't make enough for me to even want to pursue that. And he was pissed. Granted, he had a good job and everything, but if I'm going to dig for gold, I want gold, not pyrite." I couldn't fathom that I just wanted to enjoy his company. His rants about women this and women that quickly soured him on me, however. It, yeah, okay, let's see. Commenter says, "My experience of dating is that 2/3 of the dudes want the masculine fantasy of the admirative girlfriend. A third is super happy not to be alone with responsibility and pretend status. The latter usually shows signs of it. Also has poorer friends, care for family or friends, likes nice people, appreciates with she does gestures or handles stuff." You guys need to work on the grammar because I can't read this. Well, I don't know what you're saying. Anyway, okay. Commenter says, "I get this feeling about things other than money too. I'm 40 and single. I was also a competitive power lifter all through my 30s. I get blasted for having a hobby I was passionate about. But what would they say if I didn't have a hobby? I'm boring or lame. I'm a homeowner and have been since my 20s. I've heard from multiple men that my income and homeowner status makes them feel like I don't need them. But if I was broke and living with my parents, I'd be lame and undateable. I have a master's degree. I've been blasted for that too. I rarely even talk about it because I don't feel like it matters. I got it to advance my career, but my degree nor career are me. So I get in trouble for hiding it. But if I bring it up, oh, so you're saying you're too smart for me? No, never said that. It boils down to insecurity and not being able to control a woman. We can't win in general. That we can't win aspect is that's depressing, but sometimes it feels like that is the case. All right, let's see. Let's do one more. Commenter says, "Yes, I've also noticed a lot of men are just straight up hobosexuals. Both my ex-husbands wanted me to be the breadwinner and do all the housework and emotional labor, aka they wanted moms who they could sleep with. It's gross." Uh, well, men, I'm deferring to you as you like for us to. I'm just kidding. But yeah, I don't know. I absolutely do not know what to say or think about this because when we all turn 18, whether we're male or female, we're expected to carry our own. Between 18 and marriage, what is a woman supposed to do? Be unemployed? But if she is, then she's a bum. Um, I think the answer to this is performance. I think it's performative. I Someone told me that when a woman is independent, she starts to behave like a man, which is interesting to me because I don't know what that means. So hopefully you guys will comment and tell me what that means exactly. Is it behaving like a man to get up at an alarm at 6 o'clock in the morning, take a cup of coffee, get to work, do your job, go home? Is it behaving like a man to pay your bills? Um, I don't know what that means to behave like a man. And it's interesting because these same people that say things like that, their mothers worked. So it's just I'm confused. I don't know. I don't know. And then if we even add into it the reality that okay, granted in the 1950s, middle class America, we did have women working at home, i.e. homemakers and housewives or whatever you want to call them. We still had a whole workforce of women. Women always worked, basically, is what I'm saying. Have women always behaved like men because we work? Like, what exactly in the hell is going on? I'm very confused. And don't get me started on slavery because that's hilarious. Right? When did women not work? That's the question. You know, when did women not work? If women didn't work, would we as a society in America and other countries be where we are? There is some convoluted aspect, some delusion, and some fantasy involved here where there's this like fantasy feminist creature that walks softly and doesn't say anything mean or whatever that I think men are chasing, but they can't have that because they can't afford it, right? And they never could, if we're being honest. Thanks to capitalism, patriarchy, we can go back to imperialism and all the things and colonialism, right? Men could never afford this, weird creature of femininity that they're thinking exists. Their moms worked, the grandmothers worked, everybody they know that's a woman has worked, yet didn't really act like the men. That's hilarious, but they've made it in their minds that that's the case. I would say to this OP that they're right. It's quite a conundrum. They do seem to have a resentment for a woman that can pay and that isn't impressed with what they do because she could do it herself. And I think the answer to this whole thing is that men want to lead with their wallets because there's not much else for them to offer because they haven't worked on themselves since Adam. So that's what we're dealing with here. They're not good enough, and they know it. And so money is the only thing that they were able to hold over our heads, and they can't anymore in the United States and many other places. And so, because they don't have money and resources to hold over our heads, which was hoarded and stole from us and kept from us, now they're just bare and naked, and we have to actually like face them. They don't have the personality, emotional intelligence, and behavior control, loyalty, any of the things that we actually look forward to having in a partner. They don't possess it. All they have, overwhelmingly, is a paycheck to hold over our heads, and that doesn't work anymore because we have said paycheck times four, and so they're upset. So there it is. That's what I think. But men, please correct me if I am wrong. I would love to hear from you. Leave me a comment. Explain it to me. Tell me what am I getting wrong here because that seems to be the problem. You don't want to work on yourself. And money was the easiest thing you could use to get a woman and control a woman, and that ain't working anymore. So now you're bitter. You want 50-50 because you can't afford it, but at the same time, you want this mythical creature that's going to kiss your feet because she's so broke. But you can't afford a broke woman, so there's the circle, right? So anyway, that's what I think. You guys, thank you for watching. If you like this, please definitely subscribe and please leave a comment if you agree or disagree. And I will see you guys in the next episode of Romances for Rich People. Bye.